Hey, so it's been a bit more than a month since my last video, and today I have received my purchase from Japan. So, a lot of textbooks for the next year to work through and to discuss with you. And what's the best way of ending this 2024 than to record a video discussing the books I'm going to use next year. Those books are here in a random order, so I will start from the top and go to the bottom, all the books that I will be using in the beginning of the year. And also, you're gonna find in the description box down there the list of those books. So if you're interested, you can also purchase them. I have no affiliation, or I will not own anything from the link, so it's just sharing my thoughts, and maybe you find that those books might be helpful for you as well. So let's get started. The first book that I ordered is Vocabulary Builder, as it says over here. It is for N3, and if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I have been, doing a lot N3 review, and I've also done the sample tests for Nordic N3 and passed it without any problems. All sections over 90%, most of them almost 100%. So why to do it? The reason is simple. The language lives only when you use it, when you actively, watch TV in Japanese, movies, you listen to podcasts, you read in Japanese. And two books that I've used previously for vocabulary were from Somatome and Kanzemasta. And in them, you have usually sample sentences. And in Somatome, you also have just sometimes, just the words. And in this case, this book provides you with a audio, so you can shadow it, you can listen to the text, and you also have all the vocabulary put into context. And as you most likely know by now, Japanese is a contextual language, and I feel it's so good to learn them in context in real life situations, in dialogues. So I'm gonna start using it. I'm gonna let you know how it went. This book is divided into 18 different sections, and I think I'm gonna maybe shadow it for a bit, but then when I complete maybe the first shakuji, the food topics, I'm gonna just listen while I'm going on to my work, to maybe at the gym. I'm gonna just put them on and listen to those dialogues to kind of enforce and to memorize those vocabulary better. And most likely, most of the vocabulary is somewhat familiar to me, but I'm more than sure that there are lots of words that I don't know yet as well. So this is the one book I'm gonna be working with. For the weekends, in order to put in context the language, I am going to use Breaking into Japanese Literature, 7 Modern Classics in Parallel Text. So I've read some reviews about it, and yes, it is using actually texts that are not that modern, because they are 100 years ago they were like written, and they have some vocabulary that is not really used nowadays. But I really like that it has audio and also the outlay. So basically, you have Japanese, the English, and the vocabulary explanation is down here. I'm going to show you another book for Read Real Japanese, and the vocabulary is bit in the back. So I think this one is very, very convenient, and I'm not going to be using it in a way that I am going to learn by heart all the vocabulary. But I think it's nice to kind of feel that you can feel that you are able to read already at least something in Japanese. If you struggle with any points, you can just check what the meaning is. You can check the translation. You can check the vocabulary. So this is going to be for the weekends. I think one story per weekend. Then the books that I was waiting the most for are the grammar books, but not like a big grammar books, but for certain sections. So it is actually not very thick, but this is a passive form, causative passive form, step-by-step Japanese exercise book. It says also 小級から長級までステップ式日本語練習帳受け身刺激受け身 uh, so this is, I think, something that a lot of learners might struggle, me myself as well, because when we study passive voice, I think this is maybe the easiest to remember, but causative and causative passive, you don't really come across that much in maybe unless you watch a lot of movies or read a lot. And when you have to use them more often, then you might struggle. And I hope that this workbook, exercise book, will give me a solid foundation to be very confident using those grammatical patterns. The second one is also from the same series, but this is giving and receiving phrases, which I think we learn, already in the beginning. But I think using them very correctly makes a difference of your proficiency. So this is morau, ageru, kureru verbs, how to add them and when to add them. And I have felt in certain situations that I'm not always 100% sure which is correct to use. And I'm, hope that this will help me out with that. We'll keep you posted how it goes. And of course, I've said before as well, I ordered Doriru Doriru N3 Bumpo. The reason I ordered this one is not only it has the answer key, but it also explains the difference. So the book that I used before, what was the name, was without any explanations and had lots of N2 grammar as well inside. So this one really gives the explanation why certain grammatical patterns are correct. So you don't need to go online or refer to any other grammatical books to check the grammar meaning. It's all here. I hope it is very easy to use. We'll let you know how it goes. And then, of course, just for my pleasure of reading, is a history of Japan in manga. As I'm, a history teacher myself, it kind of gives text. It gives manga. I have never read a history book that is based on manga, or not based on manga, but is structured as a manga. And this has a lot of visual information, so most likely we'll cover this one as well. And now two more books, and then I am going to be done. So this is the Read Real Japanese that I was mentioning before. I've actually shown it in the books in my previous videos, and I've used it to some extent before, but I think I will start with this because this is like really a modern one. But unlike the breaking into Japanese literature, this one has parallel text, of course, right away. But if you want to check the grammar, nuances or the vocabulary, you need to go back to the book, which I think is very inconvenient because it takes time. You have to flip the book all the time. I would rather had all those information put below the main text, so it would be much more convenient for the reader. But hopefully this will also kind of give me more motivation and I would see more of the grammar I've studied in use. And this book that I have praised so much, still using it, still listening to the text, dialogues, sorry, minuscule dialogues, and every time I feel that they are so good, and sometimes re-listening to the older ones, I kind of have a different view on them, and most likely, it will be very useful in my conversation ability in the future, but of course I can assess it only when I am speaking with Japanese. So this concludes my books for the beginning of the year. I think they're more than enough. I think for 3-4 months for sure. Maybe less, maybe more. Let's see how it goes, how the motivation is. I will cover the books that I've done in December in my next videos. But for now, I wish everyone a very good end of the 2024 and much better 2025. So see you next year. Bye bye.